Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In today's session of JForex indicators explained, we are going to look at one of the Hilbert transform indicators. The name is Hilbert transform trend versus cycle mode. This indicator tries to figure out the trained or non-training environment for the instrument of our choice using the Hilbert transform technique, which is applied on the price series. And using this system we get to know if the market is in a trending mode or not, or if it is simply having a cyclical undertone in which the underlying instrument, the instrument of our choice, whether it is a forex currency instrument or for that matter commodities, equity, or any other important financial instrument for which we have the price series data. All these financial instruments can be utilized with this indicator to look at the opportunities which we can profitably exploit for making the money. That is the ultimate goal. That is always the aim at the end of the day, or we are here for making money as much as possible. This is the Euro USD chart with each candle period defined at hourly. In today's session, we have seen significant up move, more than half a percentage point move for the Euro USD, and for last couple of hours, the Euro has kept climbing up and up. So here, from around the levels of 1.07, it has finally been able to break this channel where it has been trading sideways for last couple of days, and here we have the Euro USD climbing up and not really far off from the 1.08 level. We might even see that 1.08 is reached in today's session itself. You never know. The timing can never be specified, but the expectation is that we are likely to see the euro climbing or continuing to climbing up, and the basis behind that is what we are looking at. Because if we make the assessment for any underlying instrument to rise again, then it has to remain in the uptrend, and we have to know for us to figure out the trend, we need to have a system in place to use this price action and derive a meaningful inference from that. So for that, we are going to rely on these Hilbert transform trend versus cycle mode. Here it comes. Now, when I was saying that the underlying instrument is in uptrend, I was relying on these Hilbert transform series data, because while preparing for this session, I had looked at the formation using the Hilbert transform, and there I had seen that the euro is today in a uptrend because we have the price momentum on the upside, and the indicator is having the output value at 1. When we have the output at 1 for the said indicator, it is considered to be trending, and then all we have to do is figure out whether the trend is bullish or bearish, and for that we can always look at the immediate price moves, and that becomes easier for us to figure out while combining these indicator and price action data. Now, if we consider these strong move, we can expect these trend to last, and as long as we don't really get any change in these indicator output from 1 to 0, we have reasons to believe in the continuity of the momentum, and that is the basis of my assessment that we are likely to see the Euro USD continue to climb and breach 1.08 levels. So unless there is any change from trending to cyclical, we can keep looking for opportunities to go long in the euro. So for that, we have to know whether the underlying instrument is in a strong trend or not, and to that extent, this Hilbert transform trend versus cycle mode helps us. If we go back and see in the earlier hours of the day, we had this momentum sideways where the Euro USD was not really going anywhere. It was pending last couple of sessions in a narrow range of around 50 to 60 pips, 50 pips around. And then we have finally here the breakout of salt where this prior swing high was also breached, and we still have this upward momentum for the euro. So that gives us the reasons to believe in the continuity. And if we simply look at the chart and go back in time, here we will find that if the market is in a strong trend, whether that is bullish or bearish, it doesn't matter. We have the output at 1. So the output at 1 defines the underlying scenario to be trending. And when we have the output at 0, that is considered cyclical mode, that can be said to be sideways in a simple language. And if the price dynamic is telling us that the underlying instrument is in a sideways phase, in a cyclical phase, then it is better for us to apply the short-term scalping kinds of trading techniques, use short target prices, because if the underlying instrument is not really moving much, if the range is narrow, then of course we can't be waiting on big profitable moves. So for that, we have to keep our target price small. We have to keep our target price in a narrow range, and we will have a higher chance of profiting from that. And when we get the output at 1, then that is indicative of a strong trend, and we can simply try to ride the trend and in whichever direction it is, whether it is bullish or bearish. Using the price series data, we can figure out the direction of the trend. This indicator is direction neutral. It is not really going to tell you anything about the direction of the trend. For that, you will have to use additional mechanisms, additional measures to figure out the direction of the trend. But this indicator tells you whether to go for big moves or whether to target small moves in the given scenario. So that is the utility of this indicator. Now let us look at the editing panel, what we can do in terms of the editing of this indicator. All we can vary for this indicator is the applied price. Beside that, there is not much we can change for the input parameter. We can only try out these different applied prices, and depending on the kind of applied price we are using, we will have significant changes in the way this output is plotted. Output, you can go for different color combinations if you are not really a fan of this dark blue. theme, then you can try out these different color combinations, whatever is your color choice, you can go for it. You can even go for a custom color combination. So all these options are provided on the platform. You can vary the styling as well. Opaqueness, if you feel that this indicator is getting too prominent on the chart, you can reduce the prominency by increasing the transparency factor. So that will also help. The levels you can add is level where you can have a particular level in place which will make it easier for you to detect the change. But since there is a indicator with the binary output, its output is either 0 or 1, I don't really think this adding of any level is going to be of much importance, of much utility. Recalculate on new candle only, the output will remain fixed throughout the current candle period. If you opt in for this option, highlight the time period zone, whatever is your calculation period can be highlighted, but it is not going to be applicable for this indicator. You can customize the calculation further. You can have the candle period defined independently of the chart, so that possibility is here. Show indicator on all the periods. If you want this indicator to be available on all the candle periods, you can opt in for this, or else you can specify on which particular time frame you want it, and it will be available on that time frame. The base period can also be varied, but it's not really going to make much of a difference for this indicator, so I would not really recommend making any changes in this parameter. So with this, I am almost done for the day on side of the explanation. If you have any query, any idea to share, do write me the feedback and I'll be more than happy to take the discussion forward. So that's all from my side for today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, where we looked at the concept and some of the representative examples of this Hilbert transform trend versus cycle mode indicator. We saw how we can incorporate it in our trading system to figure out the profitable high probability trading opportunities. So now it's time for me to step back and sign off, and I think it is also the time for you to step up, do some experimentation of the